Hello, everyone. Let's go. We're live. Live. All right. Yeah, Clarinet Technique live stream. We got our first person in. Amazing. Yeah, it's the first time I do this. Let me get everything straight here. Let's see if someone even comes. Actually, I'm just experimenting right now. I have nothing prepared. So it's all about questions. Yeah, all about answering stuff about clarinet technique. Yeah, it's not like a show or something that I've put on. I've just thought basically I was finished now with my things. I went to sports. I gave a couple of lessons during the day. I made my videos. And yeah, now I wanted to provide some value. I wonder if there's a chat here. I'm really completely like new to live stream. Like if you two who are right now watching, like if you write something, like does it pop up at my screen? Might be. Yeah, awesome. Hello, ciao. Awesome. So here we are, Clarinet Technique, live stream, Q&A about stuff. So basically Clarinet Technique, okay? Clarinet Technique is made up of 4 pillars. Okay, so this is like air support, which is 80% of importance. There is embouchure, articulation, and fingers. So embouchure, articulation, and fingers are like 20% of the entire thing, and air support like 80% of the thing. For me, like as soon as I fixed air support, everything fell in place. So air support basically, yeah, makes everything else better. At least for me, okay? So, and what is air support? Basically, air support you can train with this device. And this is basically my main advice that I have to air support is to train it against resistance. Because, yeah, this guy here is resistance. This is the breath builder and it's like a dumbbell in the gym, okay? So this is like a dumbbell in the gym. If you would want your bicep to grow, you wouldn't just go to the gym and move your arm around like this. Hello, Damian. Awesome. Nice to have you on. It's like the first time I do this, so excuse for any impurities that might happen. Yeah. Anyways, so basically, if you would want to train your bicep in the gym, which is a muscle, you wouldn't just move your arm around like this, okay? You would use resistance. So what you would do is you would use a dumbbell and you would train against the dumbbell. And like this, the muscle can grow. And the same thing I do with air support, okay? So with air support, what I do is I train my air support against resistance with the breath builder. Yeah, many of you guys might know the breath builder already. So the whole goal of this device is that the ping pong ball stays on top. Yeah, maximum on top all the time. During the out breath and during the in breath. And if you basically then take the in breath, you take it against resistance. And if you breathe out against resistance. So that's the entire goal, to train our muscles of the air support like a bicep in the gym against resistance. And we can do this with the breath builder. And this leads to the really cool benefit that if we then transition to the clarinet, Okay, the clarinet has a certain amount of resistance. So if we would like the clarinet offers a specific amount of resistance. So therefore, yeah, once you reached the resistance of the clarinet, you don't train anymore. You just play with this specific resistance that the clarinet has. Now, if you want your muscles to get stronger, you must train against more resistance. So that's what really helped for me, okay? So basically, I trained against more resistance every day during every practice session, more or less through the last 10 years or so. And I still continue to do it. So I don't ever stop. So I just practice with the breath builder every single day. And I don't pick up the clarinet even a single time without picking up the breath builder. Okay, so basically then after you've trained against resistance, the clarinet resistance will feel like nothing. It will feel like so easy to play. It will feel so comfortable, everything. So yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. So basically once you take a couple breaths through the breath builder, and then you take the clarinet, it will feel so comfortable to go through, to put breath through the clarinet. So that's a pretty cool thing. And yeah, it improves playing a lot. So basically once you start to do this, there's also on clarinetmasterclass.com, I've put 7 breath builder exercises to implement every day. And once I did these, like everything fell into place. So it's basically like my embouchure fell into place, my articulation came. So what is really important to be able to articulate on one airstream, basically without bursts of air. And for this you need a lot of support here. So you need a lot of support and a lot of stability from here in order to do this, in order to keep the back pressure inside of the mouth at all times. Yeah, good. This as a little introduction. If you have any questions, by the way, just ask straight away. So the reason why I'm just speaking here randomly is because we don't have any questions yet. But I would love to answer your guys' questions. And yeah, this is a little experiment today. So just so I know how this live streaming works and everything, if everything will, I don't know, that everything works, first of all, from the technology and that I know what buttons I have here on the screen. And then in the future, I might advertise the live stream and do it more frequently. But now this is a little test run today to see if everything works well. Actually, I just came back now from sports. So I went out a little bit to run after giving lessons during the day, and yeah, recording some videos in the morning for YouTube. So that was my day so far. Pretty comfy. About inflating the cheeks to get better high notes was so hard to do without ruining my tone. Okay. Yeah, in essence, this inflating the cheeks is a very slight thing. So that's nothing like this. Okay, so it's a very, very gentle thing that must be executed with a lot of nuances and not just I must inflate the cheeks to sound better, but like see, it's also not static. It comes and goes. Yeah, it comes and goes, and this also has a little bit to do with how flexible your cheeks are in general. Like, how stretched is your skin in the cheeks already? So on the website clarinetmasterclass.com, I share like a special embouchure stretch, which has to do exactly with this thing, basically, that is like a special stretch you do with the finger in order to release those muscles around here, around the lips, so that so that just the lips hold the mouthpiece, and here these muscles don't work. For most people, these muscles are working a lot. Therefore, I try to completely disengage these muscles and just use the lips and here everything to be free. That's also the reason why during running, I do like I run in this way for like 40 minutes every morning, just in order to relax everything here, relax my inhalation, exhalation, relax the lips, and to create mouth cavity. Because like if you do this directly, without ever having stretched everything out here, probably you're still tense here and here. And then this whole thing will not really work. But as soon as you will get into the where you don't engage any tension from here, but just hold from here. Yeah, so the lip is basically like a lip ring muscle. And it's not, like, I don't even consider these muscles part of the embouchure, but they are so tight for so many people. So to have here everything soft, and it will basically become like a rubber band. It will become like a rubber band that just wraps around the mouthpiece, and the goal for it is to be soft, to even out all the impurities, like in a Rolls-Royce car that drives over a road is full of stones, and you can't feel the stones anymore. So that's why you want your lips to be basically so soft. And evening out all the impurities you might do in your playing. Okay, so I don't put any tightness on my lips, and I think this is the thing that helps the creating space in the back, that you don't put any pressure here, and then you just open up in the back very slightly, but very naturally. Yeah, so the thing is, I saw one question was flying in, but they are disappearing again. I wonder if I can see them again. To live chat. That's so weird. Oh, okay. Any tips on improving left-hand C technique? Doing certain maybe faster. Left-hand C. Left-hand C. So this one, yeah? Or this one? Yeah, I mean high C probably. Probably high C. I will assume that it's high C. So left-hand C technique. So how would I play the C? So first of all, there's not much stability if you play the C. Okay, if you middle C, this one. Now I'm confused. Which C? 1, 2, or 3? there we go. Which C are you talking about? Middle C. Yep. All of them. No, one more time. It's like one is this. Two. Okay, two. Awesome. So we're speaking about this one. This C. Technique towards this C. So first of all, these notes, these long notes, they need a little bit of third space on stage. Third stage. Okay. I don't quite understand. I must admit. But basically these long notes, like C and B, we need a lot of air and a lot of round air. Like Joel Cardoso once mentioned in an interview that we did on the YouTube channel, that you should like think of for these where you have many fingers on the keys, to sink into blowing into the bell, to blow deep into the instrument. And like this, I think, yeah, first of all, the sound will get better because the air must actually reach down here in order to stream out. Like for example, if you play an F, the note actually comes out of the E, okay? And if you have a C, the note comes out of this first hole that is open basically, which is the lowest key, okay? And if you have a low B, there's nothing open and the sound comes out here. So you have to blow out far into the clarinet in order to create a good sound. But yeah, and as you might know already, so always the first tone hole that is open is where the sound comes out. This is also why you feel a lot of resonance. If you come close to your tone hole like this with your finger, so then you feel a lot of resonance and sound coming out of this tone hole. Is because the sound actually comes out of there. Yeah. And that's why with these long notes, we must blow further into the clarinet. And then what's also pretty cool, I mean, it's not cool or anything, but basically to transition from the low register into the C, for example, what could be related to the C technique, middle C technique question. I'm sure many of you might know this technique already, which is to leave the right hand on if we are still in the low register. So here we are still on the A, but we are preparing all of the fingers of the right hand in order to go to the C. Yeah? This creates a lot of stability and a lot of, just like 10x the stability of if you don't do it. So that's why we should get into the habit of always doing it. Always. It's like always preparing while we are in the bottom. Question about double tongue. I can manage a low but in the upper clarinet in a second. Yeah, okay. So double tonguing. In order to do it in the high register, first of all, in the low register, you can be successful if you do taka, 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 taka with hard consonants. Taka, 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 or tiki, 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 or tuku, tuku, tuku. It works. It's like... yeah, it comes. But then when you go into the high register, it closes. It closes. And why does it close? Because it actually closes. So you're actually closing off the airstream completely, and that's why it doesn't work. So for double tongue, you need to have an approach of thinking first of all, you need a high tongue position. So the vowel you should think is not A, and it's not U, and it's also not O. like toko, toko, tuku, tuku, taka, taka, nothing like this, because a, o, u all has a low tongue position and slow air. Tau. What we want is I, the vowel of I. And then what we want to do is to be as gentle as possible with the and with the closing off in the back. G, okay? D, G, D, G, D, G, D, G. And to practice slowly, and also to have an approach, the vowel and gentle, yeah, exactly, and also to have an approach of thinking it as three parts. So double tongue is not alternating between the and g. Exactly, very smooth. Exactly. So it's not alternating between the and g, but it's actually alternating between three things. Between the and then the which is the actual note, and then g, yeah, the consonant again, and the. So the main thing is always the note. So it's like the g, the g, the g. So you have a neutral position of the tongue, which is high in the vowel, and then the fast but gentle. Yeah, something like this. You know, everyone left at once. We got our TikTok attention span back. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't stay also in a live stream like this for too long, which makes sense. So this is actually pretty normal, I guess. So any questions, clarinet technique questions? I'm solving your problems today. That's why I'm here. Awesome. It worked. Yeah, always very gentle. And then also it helps to give a little bit of cheeks in the upper register. So I think also Sergio Pires has a YouTube video. You can check it out. I think double tongue tutorial, Sergio Pires, write something like this in YouTube. And you will see that he recommends exactly this. And to give a little bit of cheeks for the double tongue in the middle register and for the high register. Yeah, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome that also this technique of this live streaming works. It's pretty cool. So any questions? More questions? We're solving clarinet technique problems today. Awesome. What about smoothness when going down from high altissimo to low altissimo? Into synthetic reed world. Yeah. Okay. So we have evening up high altissimo into low altissimo smoothness. Okay. Let's do this first and then the synthetic reed question. Awesome. So the most important thing about the smoothness, if you speak about legato from high altissimo into a lower note, it's important to not start doing a siren, like Dio, to not help with the tongue to do the interval, because this is what we like to do intuitively. To help with the tongue to do the interval. But what we should do ideally, and blow into the interval and keep the tongue completely stable, preferably in the tongue position of Ü. for the high register. Not that's what we do intuitively always for getting intervals and stuff like this. So exactly. And also to blow back into the low register, to start blowing again, because once we get into the altissimo, we want to reach a nicer sound, and we reach a nicer sound to having slower air. So it's like, but once we go back down again, we must go back into blowing, and that's oftentimes what we forget. So we need to blow into the interval. And then even more when we go down into the low register. So the low register needs the fastest air in a way, and then altissimo and low register and middle register and altissimo. So the higher we go, the slower air we need, but when we go back down, we must give the faster air again. We can't forget this, because this is also something we don't intuitively do. Awesome. So synthetic reeds, thank you for the question. Awesome. How do I play altissimo softly? I will come to it in a second. Hello, Parkla. Awesome to have you here. Awesome. So synthetic reeds. Synthetic reeds. I played them in the university for a short amount of time when I was in the third year of undergraduate studies, maybe second year of undergraduate studies, and it was like so comfortable. Yeah, I swear, they're so comfortable to play, and they have such a nice sound. I was playing it with a Play Easy mouthpiece back in the time, which was, yeah, pretty cool. But the thing is, I lost the ability to Parkklarinette. Awesome. I lost the ability, I lost the ability to play on wooden reeds, which sucked a bit in the end. So I don't know, it's a good alternative. So I still think a really good wooden reed beats a plastic reed. But on a bad day with wooden reeds, a plastic reed beats the wooden reed. What I didn't figure out quite as good was the intonation. So I found that in the high register often I was a little bit too flat. So that was something that I realized, and what I wasn't too comfortable with. So I was a bit flat in the high register. Yeah, I mean, the plastic reed is perfectly stable. So yeah, it's perfectly stable, and it's always flat, and it always resonates well, and therefore we don't really learn to adapt as much. And with a wooden reed, you have to adapt always. You have to be always searching for a new approach for every reed, and therefore your lips become a little bit more skilled. But if you plan to go all your life with synthetic reeds and it works well and you're satisfied with the sound, that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly. I mean, Andreas Ottensamer in the Berlin Philharmonic was playing synthetic reeds. Yeah, exactly. For outside, it's like perfect. It's like nothing better than this. But yeah, Andreas Ottensamer from the Berlin Philharmonic, even Daniel Ottensamer, I think, from the Vienna Philharmonic, was playing synthetic reeds. There are other professionals as well, so quite many. I think for orchestra, I don't know. Yeah, I think wooden reeds are a bit louder in essence, like a bit louder and a bit more brilliant. 1:30 a.m. and watching Fabian Hügli live stream. Awesome. That's the way to go. That's the way to go, everyone. No, it's just a little experiment that we're doing today. Exactly. We had high altissimo. How to play it softly? The question. So, how to play it softly? Basically, you need to even out the registers. Okay, so the clarinet in itself is uneven. The clarinet in itself is diffuse in the bottom register by nature, and is too pinched in the altissimo. So that's the nature of the clarinet. So we must even this out with air. In the low register, you will need fast air. In the middle register, you will need a little bit warmer air. And in the high register, the slowest air. So therefore, you need a very open throat. And you're not lip focused at all. Okay, so you're not focused in the lips at all. I like to work with cane too, using reed gig, and the reed doesn't feel quite right. Synthetic is more dimensional. Yeah, but the reed gig is pretty good. So the reed gig is like flattening out the reed always and making it play good again. So if you guys don't have the reed gig, it's a great tool. Okay, so it's like just shaving off the bottom of the reed every 3, 4, 5 days that you play it, and make the bottom of the reed perfectly straight again. It's the way to go, because the reed just gets more resonant and gets all the resonance back, which is pretty cool. But yeah, back to high altissimo. Open throat. Before every session. I wouldn't do it before every session, because then you got no reed left after a while, you know. Like if you do it every day, and then after 10 days, you ain't got no reed left. So yeah, I would definitely maybe do it like every 4 or 5 days, because it also doesn't get warped as quickly. Cool, I appreciate you. Awesome, and from South Korea. It's awesome. We are reaching people all over the world. Yeah, awesome. Great. How much does barrel change the sound? Oh yeah, I wouldn't pay too close attention to barrels. So the question was, how much does the barrel change the sound and how important it is? I wouldn't obsess about it. Honestly. So, because I mean, there are companies that want to make money, like a lot of money, with barrels. Okay, so they want to empty your wallet. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, in essence, yeah, let's say your name is Toby. If Toby plays on a Grenadilla barrel, I will hear Toby on a Grenadilla barrel. And if I hear Toby on a Cocobolo barrel, I still hear Toby. So it's like, if you reach a certain level, it becomes so much about the musicality, your musical ideas, your interpretation, your line, your phrasing, your all of this stuff. Okay, and less about slight color change. Like for example, Martin First has like 5, 6 different clarinets, but still when you hear him play and see him play, you see Martin First play. So it doesn't really change anything about his music or anything about being perceived. So I wouldn't even notice if you would play it on a different clarinet. So therefore, I have to hear this one barrel. So I have a little special clarinet, you know, it's a Wurlitzer Reformböhm with German bore. And it's a little bit shorter barrel, so it looks a bit funny. But I just play with this one. It's nice. Like, oftentimes the one that comes with the clarinet is pretty nice already. So oftentimes we are, you try to do too much with material. Like you can warm up the sound with your air, and you don't need a new material for it. So even if the barrel will make it more warm or more diffuse in a way, because more warm also means sometimes more diffuse, less overtones, less brilliance. So I was obsessed once with getting more and more and more warm sound. I changed to Bakun, Coca-Cola, Moba, Barrel because I'm from Switzerland, because I saw, I don't know, Corrado Giuffredi on YouTube promoted for Bakun, and I played on it for a while, but the thing is, then my clarinet teacher came to me and he said, the other one is better. The other one sounds more like a clarinet should sound like, just because it makes it more comfortable for you to play. It doesn't mean that it's better perceived by the audience. So warmer is not always better, because warmer sometimes means more diffuse, less overtones, less projection. Um, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. So I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan. Let's say it like this, because it's oftentimes just searching for a quick hack, and yeah, sometimes we are willing to pay $300 for an instant improvement in warmness of sound. But I don't think it's the way to go. I think we should find a warm, resonant, round sound on like a normal clarinet equipment, like the one that is actually like designed for the clarinet. Yeah, I don't know, like it in the end it doesn't matter, like play on whichever barrel you want, but don't obsess about it. Don't obsess about the barrel, because so many people now, I don't know which barrel I should use for the con. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even if it's like about the length of the barrel, like should I use the 56 or the 66? I don't know. Like in worst case, you just pull out the 56 a little bit more, and the clarinet will look something, I don't know, with a big gap here, but it's still doable. Like just play always on one barrel and just learn to deal with it and adapt to it. Don't change your material too often. Like I play exactly this setup since like ages. And before, when I changed around stuff, I just, I actually got tense, because every little change makes, someone need high airspeed to get C3, otherwise it doesn't sound. Yeah, you need fast enough air for the high C, for sure. So fast enough air. So basically your tongue position should always either be in the position of E, English vowel E, German vowel Ü, or U or U. These three. In the low register you use E, E. In the middle register you use Ü, the German vowel Ü. And in the high register, after C, in the altissimo, you use U. Okay, so that's the theory behind what. That's, you don't get it in the position. So you have to imagine your tongue position. By the way, is there a way to fix how long I see the comments? Because I feel my brain is not fast enough to read them until the end. Okay, I'm not a live stream guy, I must say. I didn't even watch one until now in my life. Let me check the settings. No idea. Maybe I will ask ChatGPT afterwards, I think that's the most clever one. Top Chat, Live Chat, alle Nachrichten werden angezeigt. How many hours do I practice? Such an intimate question. No, I mean, it depends. By the way, why is my camera doing this? That's so weird. Anyways, how many hours do I practice? So during studies, when I was at university, I was like pretty crazy. Ah, what's the name? Like 20 years ago? Probably not. Probably not. Is he a trumpet player? Because then maybe, yeah. Like trumpet player, I might have heard, like an Asian one that was here. So I practiced really a lot. So that was, so that was crazy. Um, I think I practiced around 6 to 8 hours every day for a really long time. So at least like a 2 year period where I did like, yeah, let's say six. Let's say six on average. Mm, yeah, so 6 to 8 hours, I would say, during my time at studies. So this is like the time in your life where you have nothing else to do than just practice. So that's what I did. So I was basically just practicing, just going for it. And I basically, yeah, didn't care about anything else. I didn't care about going to parties, didn't care about going drinking with friends or like sometimes, like every 3 weeks or so. But I really like went all in, especially when I was with Francois Bender in Lugano and then afterwards in Basel. But the period in Lugano was crazy. So the period in Lugano is one of the most beautiful cities in Switzerland, by the way. That's Lugano is amazing. Okay, if you have ever go somewhere in Switzerland, go to Lugano and Zurich. Those are like the two places. Clarinet, no clarinet player. I probably don't know then. 20 years ago, but yeah, because like I'm like 28. So then I was 8 years old when you had to just practice certain piece or also scales, other special things. Mm, practice. Do you also practice a certain piece or scales? Yeah. So I did. You know what? I did a lot of scales. Okay, now prayer starts here in Cairo. So just ignore it and just listen to my voice. Try to blend it out. Um, yeah, I do practice scales, but not as excessive as I used to. But I think every clarinet player should have an excessive scales period in their life. So a period where you excessively just go for scales, just go for it, like 3 hours, all of the scales, get all of the patterns into your fingers, yeah, because it's all about patterns in a way. Like F major, uh, is the pattern of one finger after another. Then F sharp major has a specific pattern to it, and we need to at some point. Oh, sorry for the sound. Anyways, reed was a bit dry. Uh, Maybe I should consider synthetic reeds. No, I'm just kidding. So every clarinet player, in my opinion, should have an excessive scales period in their life. So maybe like 3, 4 years of really going for it and learning everything, all the patterns in detail like crazy. And then, like once you have the patterns, like if I see nowadays an F major arpeggio, I don't need to practice this. Like it's in the fingers already. So I don't really see the benefit of in the morning going F major arpeggio, I must get it into the fingers because it is in the fingers. So I've got other stuff to practice. So usually I like to, my main focus during my warm up is what I notice does me the best is to focus on the air. Like to really develop air. Awesome. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for the compliment. Yeah. I mean, I focus on air, free blowing, because like for my fingers, the patterns are in the fingers. Like I don't need to practice them anymore. and I'm like kind of fine with where the finger technique is at, and I just practice the finger techniques at pieces. So if I notice in a piece something doesn't go quite right, then I would go and okay, this diminished chord, something is not in the fingers yet. So I will da 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 ba da 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 da. Do you one day scales, one day pieces? No, I do like mix, you know, one day scale, one day pieces. No, I wouldn't say I'm alternating. So I would do a little bit of scales, a little bit of pieces, and a lot of breath builder. Okay, this is the basic. Like, if you got a tool that improves everything you do so quickly and so efficiently, and literally you take a couple breaths through this thing and your playing is 3 times more beautiful and nicer. Like, why don't we do it? Like, insane. This is the thing I do like every day since 10 years. So this is the one thing that I feel is still benefiting me if I do it every day. And if I leave it, like if I lose this thing, which happened to me many times, like the first purchase I do online is I get it back. I try to order it back and I try to get it back into my life. So yeah, I don't know. But I feel like alternating stuff every day, because like you get good by doing stuff every day. So if you do like this one time, this one time a week, this one time a week, this one time a week, then the frequency of doing the stuff is not high enough. But let's say you practice chromatic scale every day for like a month, then the chromatic scale becomes good. But how long does it actually take to practice chromatic scale? It takes like 5 minutes or 3 minutes. So you can actually bring in scales every day, and it just takes like 3 minutes out of your practice session. And chromatic scale is, for example, something that comes like in every single piece a couple of times. So this is really one that is good to have in your repertoire, to always push to have the chromatic scale on point. That's quite important. And otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I pretty much also search a lot for inspiration at the moment for musical ideas, lines. I try to sing a lot the stuff. So my main preparation for if I have a performance with the orchestra, like I don't even play it once. Okay. So if it's like an opera or I don't know, like for example a Beethoven symphony, I will practice the solos, of course, but the rest of the symphony, how will it benefit you to practice? It will not help. You need to sing the symphony. You need to sing the symphony through before the rehearsal, and then it will come automatically in the rehearsal. So like the best preparation for a rehearsal, study clarinet in Cologne. Köln, awesome. Yeah, no, it's not Buffet Crampon, it's Wurlitzer Reformböhm. It's like a German clarinet, but with French fingers. So German clarinet with French fingers is what I play at the moment. It's a very special instrument, by the way. It's from Hans Rudolf Stalder. He was the most famous clarinetist in Switzerland at the time. So he produced the most good clarinetists nowadays from Switzerland, who are now having the professor jobs in Switzerland. And it's actually his clarinet. So this is like clarinet from 1983. So it was built then by original Herbert Wurlitzer. So it's like the brand is Herbert Wurlitzer and it's made by Herbert Wurlitzer. So that's pretty cool. And also the intonation corrections, like he put with nail polish, intonation corrections inside of the thing. Have you ever met a professional musician that started playing later in their life? Yeah, a lot. A lot of people start as an adult. It's absolutely awesome. Great hobby. We have a lot of members like this on clarinetmasterclass.com as well, also with a great level, to be honest. So yeah, one of my students actually played like around 10 years now, and he's now around 50, 60, something like this years old, and amazing progress, especially with the brass pedal. Like he did insane progress, okay, on clarinetmasterclass.com. Yeah, crazy. But I was at the nail polish thing, so you can see it probably at the camera. But yeah, this guy, this most famous clarinetist guy from Switzerland at the time, he put like nail polish correction inside of the tone holes. And then to make it more flat, if it was needed for each note. And he made these corrections, and these corrections are still here. So it's a really, really cool instrument, perfected by one of the best clarinetists that was there in Switzerland at the time. So I'm really lucky to have them. So he died, unfortunately, a couple of years ago. And then I was quite lucky to get the chance to get to buy these clarinets. So it's a B flat clarinet and an A. And the A is even a little bit more nice. So I love the A. The A is so beautiful to play. So I feel these instruments have such a special character, a really special character. And sometimes, I feel if I play on a French buffet clarinet, I just play. But the instrument doesn't show me how I should play it. And with this clarinet, I feel like I don't play, but the instrument itself is teaching me how to play this passage. So I feel there's a certain amount of history in this instrument that just doesn't allow me to play, for example, oh, sorry, I'm speaking too much. To play, like for example, a Fingal's Cave overture solo in a wrong way. To play it, I don't know, not musical. I feel like the clarinet itself brings out a certain musicality in me that I didn't even have in my head. So that's why I came back to this clarinet, because it's not perfect. The intonation is not perfect. The sound is probably also not perfect for everyone. For me, I really like it. I really like the sound. So that's why it's an inspiring sound for me. But it's the inspiration I get during practice. Yeah, nail polish, like red inside the tone holes. That was the way at the time to correct intonation, was to put a little bit of nail polish inside the tone holes, then the note would get a little bit more flat. But yeah, it inspires me like crazy during playing. So stuff comes out that I didn't expect to come out. Yeah, oftentimes. All I need to do is to give the stability, and the clarinet will do the thing. So yeah, that's why I feel it's very important to get a good instrument and to try a lot of instruments and to try all alternatives that you have. So I mean, which alternatives do you have? You have so many brands. You have like the chance to choose a Baku, and more expensive doesn't mean better, okay? Normally. Like you might feel more comfortable and be more inspired with a lower model. So maybe the highest model is not even the best one for you. So like just try everything. Like you have Bakun, you have Buffet, you have Selma, you have all of the German stuff, which now also bring French finger clarinet, like reform booms or even French system clarinets, like German manufacturers. Double tongue in the high register. Yeah, we had Raymond. Nice to meet you. Awesome. Great to have you here. By the way, everyone, great to have you here. I'm super happy that you're watching this thing. So it might be a thing that we repeat in the future. It's definitely a lot of fun for me to interact with you guys in this way, and also it's nothing to cut on the app afterwards, which helps as well. So yeah, double tongue in the high register, try to keep the consonant as gentle as possible. So instead of t, k, especially the K sound, to not make it a K sound, but to make it a G sound. D, G, D, G, D, G, D, G. And to always go back to the note. The note is the thing that matters. It's like dig, 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 and not the d and the g. So the main thing is always the note. So keep the note in focus, and then everything will be good. And don't use any vowels that are like ah, o, u, that are low tongue position. So it's I. The one that works best is I. So if you would sing double tongue, you would also be okay. You wouldn't be like ta 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 ta. Yeah, it's like not logical, but it's like the way to that usually people sing double tongue. So I think these vowel, yeah, the e vowel is pretty good for double tongue. By the way, there's a double tongue basics and double tongue advanced course I've put on Clarinet Masterclass. If you want to check it out this week, promotion week, in case you didn't know. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm advertising enough already. Yeah, cool. Next question. Let's go. Which clarinet technique topic would you like to solve for yourself? We got like 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. Maybe we could do like 6 more minutes. And then I will need to rest my voice. And then I think we'll repeat this on Sunday. You know what? Be prepared on Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Like something like 10 a.m. Eastern time. Maybe like, no, let's do like 11:30. Sunday, 11:30 Eastern time is where we're gonna do it again, and then we're gonna do it longer. Yeah, so we're gonna do it like maybe 2-3 hours. This today was just a test run to see if everything is working, to see if everything is all right. I understand the technique the technique behind live streaming. So yeah. Questions, let's go. Clarinet technique questions. What are the best etudes and methods for fingers? Wie kann man die Intonation vor allem in 3 Gestrichen sicher treffen? Okay, we have an intonation question and about best etudes. So I like, for articulation, I like the Oul etudes the most, and the Closet articulation studies. I play Licostini A1 mouthpiece. Okay, this question just came in. Which mouthpiece do I play? Licostini A1 is the mouthpiece I play, and it's the mouthpiece that wins the most auditions in Europe. So if you can get your hands on one, do it. Okay, so what was I speaking about? For articulation, I like the most Oul etudes and pick like 10 different ones. For this, my favorite one is, I think, number 4. So number 4 taught me the most. Oul etude number 4. Pretty sure. Taught me the most stuff about clarinet articulation. So make sure to try this. Absolutely. Oul etude number 4. Then all of the Closet staccato studies. All of the Closet staccato studies, I think there are around 30 to 40. It will take you 2 hours if you already read them. If you already read them, it will take you 2 hours to go through all of them. But once you do this, once you read all of them, and once you maybe for a couple of days go through all of them every day, your articulation will become really, really great. So for articulation, Oul etudes, Closet staccato studies, like the 40 small ones, and all of them. Now, for other stuff, I'd go for pieces. Like seriously, like there's no point in playing some weird etude with a melody. Like, no offense, but I mean, we have enough beautiful repertoire with amazing melodies composed by amazing composers. So why would we go to some clarinet etude composer and play melodies from him if we can do like Schumann fantasy pieces, if we can do Mozart clarinet concerto second movement, if we can do whatever, every slow movement in the world. like I just don't see the point of playing like slow etudes, and I also don't see the point of playing etudes for technique in general, because like technique comes in pieces. So if you play a Weber concerto, there's a lot of technique inside Weber concerto and a lot to practice on in the Weber concerto, on the Weber concerto, with the musicality of the Weber concerto. So learning an entire etude and doing these finger things is, I think, a little bit, I don't know, it might give the risk that we become a too technical player, a too beat focused player, with focus on each beat and maybe too metronomical. And we play etudes differently than we play real pieces. So etudes, we play but suddenly when it comes in pieces, suddenly we play like this. So let's do it like with real pieces, with great music. And there's a lot of technique inside of Weber concerto, inside of the first Weber concerto, the second concerto, the Poulenc sonata, if you go for the first movement, third movement. I feel we have so much repertoire, a lot of repertoire. How do I make my reeds on the bottom? Yeah, how do I shave off the bottom of the reeds? So the important thing with this is to not do anything to the tip of the reed, okay? So basically, you just shave it off until here, and you don't do anything from here till here in the bottom of the reed, and you just basically make stuff, like make the thing flat that is actually in contact with the mouthpiece. If you shave off until here and you do something where the heart of the reed is, this basically the most resonant point of the reed right here, you will ruin the stability of the reed. So that's not good. Okay, so what I would recommend is to just, if you use the reed geek or sandpaper, sand this area until this area, and don't do anything from here to here. And also don't sand the top of the reed if the reed was good on the first day. Because if the reed was good on the first day, it means all with the top of the reed is fine. So it's probably the bottom of the reed that warped a bit, and you need to do something to the bottom of the reed. So if you're like me and you just choose good reeds, and you just choose reeds that are good on the first day, that you don't need to do anything on the top, you will end up only playing with managing the bottom of the reed. So that's all I do. Yes, I shave the bottom of the reed and yeah, do this. I hope this was as good as for you as it was for me. Yeah, awesome. Next question. Let's go. Last question, or last two questions. And then we're gonna do this on Sunday again. Okay? Sunday at 11:30 Eastern time. We're gonna do this again. Okay? And then with more people. I'm gonna maybe say it on Instagram and on YouTube. I don't know how I should say it on YouTube, but yeah. So I will maybe on the emails. Yeah, some people of you might get my emails regarding this promotion week this week. If you want, okay, go ahead. Like if you played already since a couple years, the clarinet, and you have all the. Thank you, Val. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so if you're an intermediate player, you've played for a couple of years already, and you have some problems, still in your playing, some not 100% control yet, this is exactly what clarinetmasterclass.com, the platform I've created, would be about. Would be awesome to have you on. This week in the promotion week, we have 30% discount if you use Last Chance. So that's like an extra discount we have this week. If you would want to come on, I would be more than happy to have you on. You even get a 30-minute lesson together with me where we meet on FaceTime, we meet one-on-one, and yeah, we get to learn together. This Saturday, by the way, we have Angel Martin Mora coming on. Okay, we have another question regarding the reed. Yeah, I'm not sure if I quite understand the question. So basically, you shave it this way. So if the reed points this direction, this is the sandpaper, and you like move the reed up and down here. Yeah. Up and down here, but the tip of the reed doesn't touch the sandpaper. So it's like this, and the tip of the reed moves like this on the glass table. And yeah, basically like this, you will not manipulate the tip of the reed. So like this, you can just polish the bottom of the reed until a certain point. So that's the way I do it. Sandpaper should be 1200 grit. 1200 grit is the best for reeds. Okay, so if you want to buy any sandpaper, go for the 1200 because it's amazing. It's perfect. So anything like in 1000 or 800 will be it will take off too much wood, too much cane in essence. So it will come off too much. And if you use 1200, you can really go and polish. And then the bottom of the reed will become very polished, and also moisture will be less likely to enter the bottom of the reed because you closed the pores of the reed in the bottom. So yeah. Awesome. Last question. And then we're gonna call it a wrap today. I wonder why this camera does this. Awesome. Appreciate it. Holde mine. I think it's not your real name. Okay, awesome. Last question, and then we see each other on Sunday again, hopefully. Sunday at 11:30 Eastern time. We're gonna do this whole thing again, and then probably for a little bit longer, a little bit educational, more educational than now, and maybe I will prepare also a little theory block. Who knows? Yeah, be ready. Maybe we'll do something with the breath builder, you know. Awesome, great. I'll be looking forward to having you back. Okay, so let's hang it up for now, for today. It was awesome to have you all on. Appreciate having you guys on the channel, and looking forward to doing these live things more in the future. Great to be speaking to you guys, and yeah, I got a lot of inspiration myself by answering the questions. So this was a really cool thing. If you would like to join clarinetmasterclass.com, you can do this week until Sunday to get a discount. So this is like a special promotion week we have going on. If you want to get better fast and implement a lot of new stuff, like a lot of new stuff, a lot of new exercises that will make you a better player very quickly. So I've seen this happen to so many members of the community, so many students that just made big jump in a very short amount of time after coming on. So I would love to see you again. I would love to meet you in our 30 minutes free lesson that you get if you join this week on clarinetmasterclass.com. You get my entire course on how to get better, how to solve all your technical problems. This Saturday, we will have a masterclass with Angel Martin Mora, which will be awesome. So don't miss this. Recording will be available also, but just on the website. Will be cool. I'm buying an iPad tomorrow, by the way, so that I can write what Angel Martin Mora says in the masterclass while we have the masterclass. So just for this reason, I will buy an iPad tomorrow and an Apple Pencil so that I can like share the screen of the iPad while, so we have like Vidor, no, not Vidor, we have Messager coming on. So one member is going to play Messager and one member is going to play Rossini. This I know already. So, and I bought an iPad, which is pretty cool. I didn't buy it yet. I will buy it tomorrow. Tomorrow is my birthday, by the way. So I'm making myself a little birthday present with this. But I will use it. I buy it for the purpose of writing the sheet music, what the professors on masterclass will say during the masterclasses. So then we have basically the teacher, the student playing, and me writing, and the sheet music. Thank you. Not yet, not yet. Tomorrow. So we'll bring bad luck. Happy birthday too early. So yeah, that the sheet music will run like at the same time. So I think this will be quite a cool learning experience. This is going to be on Saturday. So if you would like to get this on Saturday, make sure to join before Saturday. Okay, awesome. So let's. I hope this doesn't get deleted. I hope I can leave it on. Does this get deleted if I now press X? Does anyone notice? Or does it stay on the YouTube channel? You know what, let's just risk it. So it was great to have you on. Bye everyone. I appreciate you guys and looking forward to seeing you on Sunday, 11:30 Eastern time, again with Clarinet Technique questions and answers. All right, bye everyone. See you. Have a nice day. Bye.